an announcement. As many of you have seen over the past few months, Councilmember Whitley has missed several meetings. That is due to a lengthy illness by one of his family members. Mr. Whitley knows that that is going to continue for some time, and he has decided to submit his resignation. It will be effective August the 30th of this year. Council will follow the same process that we have followed in the past to put a new member on the board. After August the 30th, we will receive letters of interest and proceed at that point. So if anyone wants to consider, they must be in the City of Albemarle District 4. Thank you.
Do we want to put a time on that though, Ronnie? I mean, I think we need to have some outside time on it. We won't accept letters until August 30th, but we need to have some outside on it.
Council can do it now or do it at the next meeting, your choice.
I-
Let's do it now, because it's the 18th.
So
I-
what's the deadline?
Let's look at our calendar.
Well, you know, our first meeting in September is September 2nd, which is only 3 days after the 30th. And the next regularly scheduled meeting would be on September 15th.
I think that would be pushing it, just give them 2 weeks. I'd give them at least 3
Well,
weeks, I would
if
think.
folks are hearing it tonight and it will be out, I'm sure. I mean, that's right. I mean, today's the 18th. That gives people 4 weeks.
If council wants to set the second meeting in December as the deadline.
September.
Of September.
September.
You will receive letters, and then we turn around, like we did before, ask them to answer some questions, and then council brings them before council to make a presentation.
I would actually like to see it end on that Friday, September 5th, so we'll know on when we come for that second meeting already. If we wait to that second meeting, we won't already know the number of applicants.
That's right.
And so it
September
would be better
5th?
to end it on like on a Friday or so, or some date prior to the second meeting.
Well, the
Just
12th
like-
would be that Friday, just prior
The
to
second
the
meeting is on what?
The
15th.
15th.
So the
15th,
12th,
so the
12th is
12th,
what you're
yeah.
saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
The 12th at 5 p.m.
I think the
Yes.
12th that would
I
be.
think that would be a better process.
Sounds
to
good.
move forward.
I need a motion.
So
moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Dry. Second by Councilmember Townsend. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. So to repeat, we will receive letters from City Council District 4 until 5 p.m. on September the 12th, if you are interested in being a council member.
And should we be more specific that the letters be addressed or delivered to? I think there needs to be one.
Last time they were addressed to the mayor's office and marked personal or confidential and sealed envelopes.
And we'll ensure that it stay unexpired term, correct?
Yes, will be an unexpired term, but that term runs again next year.
Okay.
Will we be advertising it?
I would hope the paper would help us out with that, but if they don't, we will make it well known.
Maybe David can get it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, David.
So to be specific, then they would be addressed, marked personal and confidential, and delivered here, either mailed or
Delivered or
hand-delivered.
mailed, either one.
Is there any way you could set those up so that we could come in and look them over?
Well, we usually left them sealed until we met.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
However you want to do it now.
That's a cleaner process.
You would I would give them to you that night of the 15th is what I would do.
Would we open them that night together?
I'd have to open them to get you copies.
Well, but
Yeah, but I mean, you're saying everybody needs to see it at the same time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, correct.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Your Honor,
Yes.
would it be appropriate to have some comments based upon Chris's resignation?
If you would like.
Yeah, I would. Chris has been a very dedicated council member, and he's added a lot to this board, not only here in chambers, but in other duties that he has taken on during his time. I would hope that we as a community would bow our heads and ask the good Lord to be with this young man and be with this family for a speedy and hopefully total recovery, and knowing full well that we as a community stand behind the Whitley family as well as the other folks that are going through this as well. And Chris, we love you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I have spoken with Mr. Townsend. Mr. Whitley has a couple of positions he fills for council, and Mr. Townsend has agreed to accept those. I would entertain a motion that we appoint Mr. Townsend as our delegate to the Rural Planning Organization and as our alternate delegate to the COG. And also, he would take the minutes in any closed session when we don't have a clerk, and he will be signing off on all travel vouchers.
So,
moved.
second.
Motion by Councilmember Aldridge, second by Councilmember Hall. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries.
So follow up on that.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Townsend, there is a meeting tomorrow morning that I got you.
Yeah, yeah.
I have been, as the alternate for the transportation, for the TAC. I have been attending those, for Chris the last couple of months. There is a Zoom meeting tomorrow morning, and I will be on that. So, yeah, I'll
And
take,
I'll get on board when I find out the agenda meeting.
that's,
schedule.
well,
Thank
this
you.
one is, yeah, and I think there's another one that's a called meeting. After meeting tonight, I might,
Okay. Touch base with
I
me.
will, sure will.
Okay,
Thanks.
Thank you. Next, we have a special presentation. It's unusual that we would honor someone leaving the city before they actually leave. But in this case, Mr. Clark will be moving immediately to be closer to his family, and we need to do this before he leaves here. His last day will be Friday, so tonight is his last meeting with us. Mr. Clark, thank you for all that you have done for us. You came in and helped us get through a very difficult budget this year. Among many other things, we have a lot of things going on in this city, and you've been on top of those the entire time. So thank you very much. Council, I'll give anybody else a moment if they would like to say anything.
I'll start out. First of all, Mr. Clark, we want to commend you for overall, not just your time here in Albemarle, but for your 35 years of service to the general public in various locations. You weren't here with us for a long time, but I can say the time spent was some valuable time, and we appreciate everything that you have done over the past year. I remember attending, I think, a conference not long after you got here, and one of the public speakers had said, nobody ever feel like when they come to City Hall that they should be defeated. And I remember, I just watched the way you handle different things when people come, email or call or whatever, and how you respond to people, regardless to whether or not their concern have merit. But it's a concern from the general public, and you address everything and give it your full attention and respond accordingly. At least they hear that somebody valuing their opinion. And I appreciate everything that you've done for the city of Albemarle, and wish you the best of luck going forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Dexter. Anyone else?
I want to pull up the end.
I'm gonna say Todd. That's how we interacted for a year. And he and I have had some very good conversations. It's been my pleasure to get to know you and Jane, and it weighs deeply on my heart to see you leave. But at the same time, knowing full well that family is the most important thing that we have, we should never make that secondary. It should always be right in the forefront. Your professionalism has been a hallmark for me, and I appreciate the opportunity to sit down with you on our Fridays. And we've been blessed to have you. We're going to miss you. I just wish the citizens of Albemarle had the opportunity to get to know the professional Todd Clark that we know and how you looked at things in a very objective way and presented them to us in a very positive way. And we had to make the hard decision. And for that, thank you very much. God bless you and to all your family.
I've enjoyed the year that you've been here, getting to know you. I appreciate your leadership. Uh, I really appreciate how you've communicated to each one of us as a council and kept us up to date with things that were going on in the city. I hate to see you leave, but I understand, and I wish you the best. Thank you.
Well, Todd, I'll tell you, I just want to first of all echo the sentiments of the other council members and say thank you. You've definitely added a lot of value to me personally and to the city as well. And from a personal perspective, I was upset when I first heard that you were leaving. And I say that because you're that good at what you do. And for a long time, we had been searching for a proven leader such as yourself. And so selfishly, I thought, man, he's at least got another 5 or 10 years. We're going to have this guy at least another 5 or 10 years. So, but wishing you and your family many years of happiness and retirement. You've dedicated your entire life essentially to public service, and you're to be well commended for that. You're a good man. I consider you a friend, and I wish you the very best. Thank you, sir.
Todd, second everything that's been said and simply say, God be with you.
Thank you.
So I'll bring it up the rear. Todd, Everett Todd Clark, or Mr. Clark's son, whom I have loved, Mr. Clark, Everett Clark. I have had this ultra respect for him, as you well know, for 23 years. And when I saw your name in our group of folks that we were going to interview, it has E. Todd Clark. It didn't have the Everett, but I knew who that was. Because I remember I don't remember when you were in Forsyth County or Vance County or Boone. But when you were in Catawba, the town of Catawba and the town of Maiden and the town of Newton, and when you went to Beaufort, I knew who Todd Clark was, whether it be with Electric Cities or with the league or through your daddy. And I am sure that your daddy and your mama are smiling right now for 2 reasons. That you got to end your career in Albemarle first. That's supposed to be a joke, but that you're coming home, that you're going to be closer to them. And as everyone indicated, and as was an example with Chris's resignation tonight, 2 things, family and health. And we can't do for others until we take care of ourselves. So I join everybody on all these comments they've said, and I really join what Bill Aldridge said about he was a little bit upset. Because I saw we were on a roll and the train was moving. And it still is going to, okay? We had some changes that needed to be made. And thank you for taking the lead and for making those changes and putting some things into work. I look forward to the next years and hope that we don't lose that momentum. But good luck, Godspeed with all of you. And I can't wait to see Mr. Clark's face when you finally get back toward the mountains.
Thank you.
Council, I will entertain a motion that we approve a resolution to honor Everett Todd Clark.
So moved.
Motion by Councilmember Hall, second. Who made the second? Second by Councilmember Aldridge. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Clark, let's step out front. Jane, you want to join us?
Jane, I'll come do that.
And I have 2 presentations tonight. The first one is the resolution that we just adopted. Whereas Everett Todd Clark has provided leadership, skill, and dedicated service to the city of Albemarle as city manager. And whereas during his time with the city of Albemarle, Mr. Clark has led key investments in infrastructure, public safety, employee recruiting, and retention. And whereas for the past 35 years, Mr. Clark has demonstrated an unwavering commitment to public service. And whereas Mr. Clark has worked for the betterment of communities as town manager of the town of Beaufort, city manager of Newton, town manager of Maiden, and town manager of Catawba. And whereas Mr. Clark's efforts have made a lasting impact in improving the quality of life and services provided to each community. And whereas Mr. Clark is an International City and County Management Association credentialed manager. And whereas Mr. Clark has served on the board of directors of Electricities of North Carolina. And whereas Mr. Clark has served as chairman of the Municipal Power Agency 1, a power supplier for 19 cities and towns in Piedmont and Western North Carolina. And whereas Mr. Clark is a graduate of Appalachian State University, holding an undergraduate degree in community and regional planning and a master's degree in public administration. And whereas Mr. Clark is a devoted family man, married with 2 sons, and has been involved in civic affairs in the communities where he has lived and worked. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and city council of Albemarle expresses its deepest appreciation and gratitude and extends best wishes to Everett Todd Clark for a well-earned rest and a long and happy life. Adopted this the 18th day of August. Thank you. And I have one more.
Remain standing.
In appreciation, this certificate of appreciation is presented to Everett Todd Clark, who retired after 35 years of excellence in public service. On behalf of the citizens of Albemarle, the mayor and city council have authorized this certificate and extend best wishes for a well-earned rest and a long and happy life. Thank you, and I'm going to give you the microphone.
Thank you, Mayor. So much to say. First, I want to say thank you to each and every member of City Council for your trust and faith in me. I have been honored and privileged to be able to serve you for the last year. Thank you for that. I appreciate that very much. And I have been honored and privileged to serve many communities, as you said, Mayor, over the course of my career. And it's been a life of public service. As Martha Sue said, priority has been health and family. And I absolutely cannot say any more for my wife, Jane, for standing beside me for so many years, and our 2 sons, Tucker and Ethan. They have been very supportive. They have sacrificed the nights, long nights for council meetings, floods, snowstorms, electrical outages, water and sewer outages, and vacations when I've had to delay time with family for hours when they were ready to go to the beach or somewhere else. So they have been my rock and my everything. So thank you. To City Council and all the elected officials I've worked for, I've been privileged to work with people who have first and foremost put the needs of their community first. It's not been about partisan politics. It's been about what can we do to benefit our communities and how to support our employees. Uh, I feel privileged to have been able to work with all of you in the fact that you have been able to conduct business in a civil way. You may not agree from time to time, and other councils that I've worked for do not agree from time to time, but they do it in a civil way, and that's something that we're starting to miss in local government. So you're doing a great job, and this city is poised to do wonderful things. You have a tremendous staff, and they are ready to move the needle forward for Albemarle. I'm so excited for what Darren Rhodes is going to do and lead this city in the future. Darren, you're doing a great job. It's been my privilege to work with you as well, and each member of the staff. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. A city manager wouldn't be worth his salt if he didn't say that his reputation and the work that he does or she does is because of staff. You deserve the credit. For those of you who are back office, they excuse me, provide customer service, information systems, finance, human resources. For those people who provide all of the services to support all the rest of the staff, that's what the background of what we do, the backbone of what we do. That's the basis. And so thank you for being there for the rest of the staff, for planning department and having that vision and helping city council to move the pendulum forward. Thank you as well. And then all of those folks, and I said this several weeks or a month or so ago, we pretty much touch every home in our corporate limits and beyond, because we provide public utilities beyond our corporate limits. These are folks who are out working long, hot days in the sun, 100-degree temperatures, below 32 degrees in the winter when the water line's broken and water's freezing as fast as it's coming out of the line. For those electric linemen who are out at night in the dark, in the rain, who are trying to get the power back on, you are the people who do all the good work for the state of North Carolina and for this community. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. You are the true heroes, and I thank you. So with that, I know you shouldn't have given me the mic, Mayor, but thank you.
Again, on behalf of the city council, our staff, all of our citizens, and myself, thank you for all that you continue to do for our city. We have you for another week yet, so we're going to continue to get some work out of you. So thank you very much. And Jane, thank you for your sacrifices to allow us to do what we do. Thank you.
Yep. Absolutely.
We'll move to approval of minutes. Council will approve the minutes for the 8/4/2025 regular session.
Move approval.
Motion by Councilmember Aldridge, second by Councilmember Hunt. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have a public hearing. It's for a zoning map amendment 2503 on Knollwood Circle. And I'm going to open a public hearing. First, our staff is going to make an introduction. I will then allow the applicant to make his comments. And after that, we will move to any of the public that wishes to make a comment. You will be allowed 3 minutes if you want to make any comments. Staff, you introduce? Again, this is a public hearing.
So this is ZMA 25-03, request for a rezoning map amendment on Knollwood Circle associated with tax record 4198. This is an application brought forth by Green Group LLC on behalf of property owners Terry and Beverly Price. The location is a parcel of approximately 3.27 acres on Knollwood Circle between US 52 North and Carter Drive. It's serviced by North Stanley Middle School and High School, and tax record number was already given. This is a picture of the parcel facing Knollwood Circle, and this is the applicant statement for the reason for the requested rezoning. Staff won't read it. You had it in your packets. The parcel is currently split zoned. It's noted here with the blue outline. It is existing with R10 noted in the pale yellow and GHBD, General Highway Business District, in the dark pink. The parcel is currently vacant and undeveloped. The proposed land use is to be rezoned at all R10 for the development of single-family homes or duplexes. Adjacent zoning for the parcel is, well, we'll go into the site details. The parcel itself is not prohibitive to development. There is no watershed, no floodplain, or other development constraints. The topography is moderately sloping. There's heavy sloping in the rear of the parcel, but that would be mostly setbacks to be undeveloped and left wooded. There is utility access at the road front and running through the parcel. The pipes would require a 20 feet easement, 10 feet on each side, but with the size of the parcel, the land is still developable despite the request for those easements. Discussing the existing zoning and land use within 300 feet of the parcel. To the north, we have R10 noted in the pale yellow, which has single-family homes. And just above that, we have heavy industrial. This is the water treatment plant owned by the city, unlikely to be sold and redeveloped in that zoning district anytime soon. To the east, we have R10 in pale yellow with single-family homes. To the south, we have General Highway Business District and R10 slightly featuring commercial and retail businesses and single-family homes. And to the west, on US 52, we have commercial and retail with GHBD zoning. Zoning district intents, this information is pulled directly from the city ordinance defining the intent for each zoning district. So R10 is existing zoning, proposed zoning, and the surrounding zoning, meant to emphasize a priority on quiet residential neighborhoods well outside the urban core of the city, prioritizing low density with small variation in housing types. In this district, we only have 2 by right uses and 9 uses that could be approved as special use permits. Those 2 uses are single-family dwellings and 2-family dwellings. GHBD is currently existing on the parcel and surrounding it. Our ordinance defines this as to serve commercial activity that functions independently of intense pedestrian traffic. It shall be located along state and federal highways or other highways designated as major streets. Within the zoning district, we have 109 by right uses and 14 uses that council could approve as special use permits. Staff has pulled out some notable uses for your consideration. In this district, we have by right uses of various automobile uses such as sales, repairs, car washes, bars and restaurants, hotels and motels, and service stations. On the parcel right now, approximately 2.75 acres of the west portion is zoned GHBD. The parcel's GHBD portion is roughly about 450 feet into Knollwood Circle off of US 52 North, and it accounts for 190 feet of the parcel's road frontage on Knollwood Circle. The intent for heavy industrial district is to accommodate all but the most obnoxious industries. This is 102 approved uses. Staff's not noting any notable uses for consideration here as that's city-owned property and not going to impact this development. Looking at subdivision and lot size of the requested rezoning. So with 2.5 acres of GHBD existing on the parcel, what does that look like in comparison to other commercial properties we see in Albemarle? The address of 718 Leonard Avenue is roughly 2.5 acres. It fits a building size of over 13,000 square feet. The parking lot measures about 40,000 square feet. It has a variety of businesses. This development sits on a major thoroughfare, so it requires a larger setback than would be required if we put in one of the by right permitted uses on Knollwood Circle. It actually could be closer to the street, closer to the homes on the other side. Another option is 723 Leonard Avenue, measuring 2.66 acres with a building size of over 21,000 square feet and a parking lot size of 50,000 square feet. Again, noting various businesses. This is a out parcel of a larger commercial development. But what's important to note between these examples is the amount of paving that would go into the parking lot and potential runoff in a residential neighborhood on Knollwood Circle. Another example is 745 NC 2427. This parcel measures just over 2.5 acres with a building size of over 2,500 square feet and 55,000 square feet in parking. Again, this parcel requires a larger setback than would be required should commercial uses be permitted by right on Knollwood Circle. The R10 development capacity of the lot right now with the existing remaining portion of R10 as a little over half an acre, you would get about 2 lots for single-family detached homes or 1 duplex building. The proposed requests were to go forward and the whole 3.27 acres were to be developed. You could get potentially 11 single-family lots or 7 duplex buildings. This is assuming all the land is developed and 20% of the 3 acres is used for public right-of-ways, public access, and utilities. How does this relate to the comprehensive land use plan? So future land use classifications for this parcel in question, it is split zoned on our future land use map, noted here, circled in white with orange and red. So the orange is general residential. Per our adopted 2028 future land use plan, lots ranging from 1/4 to half an acre in size, low density developments frequently terminating in cul-de-sacs. Commercial in red, generally located along major thoroughfares, a wide array of commercial uses, and when using this classification, development considerations of traffic impacts and compatibility with abutting residential areas. Some financial considerations of if this lot were to be developed or how likely it is to be developed with existing zoning. So commercial development, a developer is likely to have higher interest rates than a residential loan, shorter loan terms, and larger down payments, and more investment needed for construction capital, which could decrease the amount of developers looking to develop the land. It does bring in higher property taxes, can generate sales tax revenue, and potential job creations. With the residential considerations, we see just lower barriers to investment and development with lower interest rates, longer loan terms, smaller down payments, and cheaper constructions. Property rates tend to be lower, and they are not direct generators of sales tax revenues. Staff comments. So most of the property's road frontage is on Knollwood Circle, and most of the properties with road frontage on Knollwood Circle are zoned R10, general residential. A cul-de-sac directly to the east of the property fits with the general R10 future land use map description, which was denoted again in the orange. Mature vegetation could be kept as a buffer yard on the parcel with the steep sloping and the side to buffer any commercial development that already exists. Also, the applicant shared with staff that should this rezoning go through, they will only be purchasing a 3/4 of an acre from the property owners, and the remaining portion would stay with the property owners for their personal use or future development. And they have provided a preliminary plat that would go forward as a subdivision should this rezoning go forward. So they would only, by right, be able to purchase this small portion, Lot 2, while the owners retained retention of Lot 1 over 2.5 acres. And that is all.
How much road frontage was on that small lot that they will have?
The small lot,
The one you just showed they were gonna purchase, how much road frontage is that?
I'm not sure.
You'll go back to, you gave us some examples, go back again, back, back, back. Stop.
Okay, that one.
So these three examples, all over in East Albemarle,
Mhm.
it would be my understanding, and help me if this is what you did that for. Currently, these are the types of construction and parking lots that could be in the pink.
Yes.
Go back again, go back, go back, go back, go back. One more time, I think, right there.
Hmm.
So currently, without anybody doing anything, stopping anything, any of those types of businesses, commercial with parking lots, could be in that 3.2 acres there.
Yes, if somebody were to come into the office and said, I want to build a strip mall for 7 new businesses right here, by right, I would, walk them through the building development process, and zoning would approve it without a hearing.
And currently, just that 3.2 that's got 470 at the top,
Mhm.
I'm just making sure that we're on the same page,
Mhm.
and butts up to what's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other properties to the left
Hmm.
or to the west.
Hmm. That's what.
So currently, they could go in there and clean that off.
Yep.
And anything could go right there.
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I understood why you were given that as a visual
Yes.
for me and for anybody else that's here. Thank you.
Anyone else have questions of staff? Okay. Does the applicant wish to come forward and speak?
I would
You
like for,
spoke- You spoke to the planning and zoning. You haven't spoke to us. So if you want to speak to us, you need to come forward. Yes.
so we don't look any different.
I'm so sorry. Well, greetings, City of Albemarle. My name is DJ Camp 4, licensed broker for Virginia and North Carolina, and I'm actually the realtor for the Green Group that is purchasing this parcel. So a few weeks ago, I came in here and I explained that we're just keeping it super simple. That 3/4 that we are subdividing from the land, we would end up doing 2 single-family homes or a duplex. The rest of the land, the prices are keeping as a personal homestead to build a future house for their daughter. So we're not doing anything overcomplicated, and we're just keeping it nice and simple.
Council have any questions of the applicant? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
This is a public hearing. Anyone who cares to speak, please come forward.
Move the public hearing be closed.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Hall to close the public hearing, second by Councilmember Townsend. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Staff, would you come back up and put the statements up?
You want these, or would you like the ones in your packets?
The ones in the packet. Council, you see you have three statements: approve with and consistent, approve and not consistent, deny and not consistent. Your motion, either one you use, should state which one of these you are using and any determination as to why. I'll open the floor.
You want to take a motion?
Yes, sir.
Move to approve zoning map amendment 2503 with the consistency statement and reasonableness as it applies to the future land program.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Dry, second by Councilmember Townsend. Now, I understand that you're saying it is in compliance with our land use.
That is correct, sir.
Further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Moving down to administrative reports, your departmental reports are in your agenda. Questions, comments?
I have some specific ones, but I'm gonna run them by Darren later this week.
I'll move on to the consent agenda. The Plants Division, Public Utilities Department, chemical bid number 2025-05. You'll see that there's multiple bids on multiple chemicals and multiple awards if council so agrees. Second is 8B, ordinance 2529, amending the AMI project budget, so in order to be able to buy a few more AMI meters.
Move approval of consent agenda as presented.
Motion by Councilmember Hall,
Second.
second by Councilmember Dry. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Move on to new business. 9A, consider approval of change order for the sanitary sewer rehabilitation phase 3 project. Mr. Clark, you want to make any comment?
Yes, sir. I'm going to recognize Tom Johnson, our Public Utilities Director, to make this presentation. Tom?
Good evening. You have before you tonight to consider approval of change order for the sanitary sewer rehab project, phase 3 of that project. This is a section of pipe that is near 5 Points. To do this, it would be a change order of $311,093.77. And we've invited our engineer, Adam Kiker from LKC, to come up and show you what the plan is and answer any questions.
Thanks, Tom. Good evening, Mayor, members of council. Thank you for the opportunity to be here this evening. This is a subject we first broached with you right at a year ago. I think it was September of 2024. And it's targeting a section of pipe. I'll skip to the map in the 5 Points area. And you're probably familiar with this, but north is up on the page. This is South 4th Street. And this is 5 Points Public House here to the right. The problem we're trying to solve is the existing sewer line is underneath the relatively large, I'm going to say commercial building. I don't actually know what the use is. And the intent is to alleviate that, to relocate that so that the line is not under the building. But just to kind of give you a quick background, because this project has been, we're at the very end and it's been open for a long time, so forgive me. I think this is important. This is phase 3. The construction on this started in end of 2023, I believe. It is Clean Water State Revolving Funds. You're familiar with that program, 20-year loaned, relatively low interest rate. It's not ARPA dollars. Actually, this fund predates the American Rescue Plan fund. And the project has been completed for over a year now, except for this one segment. And so we broached the subject of, is there a better way to do this about a year ago, and then we'll kind of talk about what we've been doing or what you and your team have been doing since. But an important part of the finance is the bottom bullet on your screen right now, that this is a unit price contract and it's putting in thousands and thousands of feet of new sewer line or digging and replacing sewer line. And so as we track all the quantities along the way, footages of pipe, depth of pipe, manholes, all the other unit priced items, since we have the liberty of having some certainty on this since the project is almost done, we are projecting with certainty around a $200,000 deduct at the end of the contract. So that savings, now it is loan funds, so it's not free funds, but it is savings that could be allocated towards other improvements in the project. This particular segment of pipe has been an issue that your staff has known about for some time. The existing pipe is underneath the corner of that building, as we show here in the blue circle on your screen. The scope of the contract featured leaving the pipe in place and rehabilitating it. After a lot of on-site evaluation and looking at where it was and the potential impact of that, and given that we are expecting this significant budget underrun, we began to discuss a little over a year ago, is there a better way to fix this, right? While we have the funds available, while we have a contractor under contract, not necessarily mobilized anymore, but under contract, is there a way we could make it so that this pipe is no longer a significant concern to your staff? A couple of pictures, you've seen these before. The one on your left is looking upstream. This is Public House in the background. The existing pipe is in line with this wheel right under the corner of the brick building where the mouse is here. The picture on the right is in the same place, just spun around looking the other way. You'll see my Photoshop skills. I greened out the house that you and your team tore down over the last several months. But the red line is basically where the existing pipe is. So the request for, or the consideration and the recommendation of our team, and I believe of your staff, is to use the current contractor. They've presented a change order price of, as Tom said, $311,093.77 to basically realign and shift the pipe so it's no longer under the building. A map is better. And I should say, there are some small scope items that would be done outside the scope of the construction contract. And I know Mr. Henson and his team have identified that. There's some trees that have to come down and a plumbing connection. Believe it or not, the building that the line is under, the plumbing connection comes down vertical into the top of the pipe, so we'll have to manage that when this is done. This is just a quick sketch here. Again, north is kind of to the right, upper right on the page. This is our drawing. The faded red circle is the problem area. To get you oriented, this is Public House right here. 4th Street, and that is, I guess that's Main Street,
East
right?
Main.
Yeah, East, yes. So what we'll do is we will set a manhole here. We'll dig towards the road, put a manhole in the middle, and then actually reverse lay this pipe. There's already a pipe here so that it captures theirs. And when we're done, the line under the house or under the building will no longer be there. Now, it's one of the reasons that it's been a year since we talked about this is right after we presented it to you last September, your team, I think, had some lengthy discussions and decided to purchase that piece of property and tear down that house, which I, from an observer and your consultant, I think was a wise decision. And it has resulted in some fairly significant savings in the cost of this. If you recall, the last time we presented, that cost was about $360,000 to get that work done. So a lot of, yes, sir.
Go back to that last picture.
This?
Yeah,
Yes,
you
sir.
got a triangle there. You got 2 legs and an hypotenuse. What you're doing, where the hypotenuse is, you're going to change that and do the legs.
That is correct.
How many feet are you adding to the overall project with what, doing the calculations on the 2 legs of your triangle?
That's a good question. So I can answer that. It's on here. So it's 90. No, that's different. Dr. Bramble, I'm not sure I can
Well,
give you an
just
exact.
any approximation.
Yeah, you're probably adding about 30 feet, if I had to
And
guess,
that's
of extra pipe.
$300,000.
Well, yes, it is. It's a very
That's what I'm
expensive.
getting at.
Yeah, it's a very expensive.
30 feet.
Well, if you, I recognize where you're coming from. If you stand in the street here and look at what we have to do to relocate this pipe, it's a fairly significant undertaking.
Adam, when you showed your go back to
Yes, sir.
the other drawing where you showed the colors, keep going back.
Yes,
Right, stop right there. Where you're showing that, the blue line that goes out into the middle of the street,
correct.
you're showing it exactly on top of the stormwater. Is it north of the stormwater or south of the stormwater?
It's this is a conceptual sketch here. It's just south of the stormwater. If you
So
look,
if it's south of the stormwater, you got to dig through the stormwater to put the
that's
sewer
correct.
in.
Yes.
Okay, then are we making provisions to replace that stormwater? Because I'm assuming it's probably old Chiricahua.
Are you referring, so that there, let me make sure I understand. So there's a concrete channel down the hill. I'm not sure if that's what you're referring to.
Right, when you come to, when you come exactly on, lined up with that, there's a catch basin on each side of the road.
That is correct.
And
Yes.
there's pipe goes underneath.
Yes.
I'm assuming it's 3 to 4 foot deep. So you're gonna go through it.
We go under it. Yes.
Can you get under it without
Yes.
tearing it up? Because if it's terracotta, it needs to be replaced, is what I'm getting at.
I don't know if we know the material. If we uncover it and it's failing or at risk of failing, then yes, we'll work with your team and see if that's a wise, there will be a small contingency left that we can use to address that. But
I'm just concerned-
there's vertical space for us to get below it. Yes.
That part is phase 3 of our rehab down there on 4th Street. And I would hate for us to go through that,
And then
do
have to
all
tear
that milling work and repaving.
Sure.
And then have to tear it right back up.
Yep.
So even though we may be a couple years before we get to that, I don't want us to do that. Make sure we're safe, whatever
Sure.
you do.
I wasn't aware that there were stormwater improvements in this area, and I probably should have been.
I think that's the only one, I believe, on that side of 4th Street.
Okay, we can talk to your staff and make sure that if this is an area or we uncover a problem, that we make sure it gets addressed. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Forgive me, so this is a quick sketch of schematically how it would work. The financial impact, because this is important, we recognize it is a big cost. Before this discussion, as based on construction progress and the funds available, you had around 130,539 left in contingency. Outside of that, we have underrun based on quantities and depths and all the other unit price items that go into a $6 million contract. And so you add those two together, then you compare it to the cost of this change order. You still, after this is done, will have a small contingency remaining, $19,945. And we are at the very end of the job, so after this scope is completed, the contract would be closed out and we would be done. And I left that bullet in the bottom. There are some small items, approximately 20,000, and Mr. Henson might be able to offer more detail there, but just small little things that we would do outside the construction contract. Yes, sir.
Council have any questions of Adam or Tom?
Move approve change order number 3 for the sanitary sewer rehab phase 3 project.
Have a motion to approve by Councilmember Hall,
Second.
second by Councilmember Dry. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Don't blink, Adam.
Next is ordinance 2530 for a fire ladder truck. Mr. Clark.
Thank you, Mayor. This was an item, a purchase for a new ladder fire truck that was placed in our budget for the coming year. Because this is a project that will span the course of the current fiscal year and into the next, it will require a capital project budget ordinance. So that we anticipated this during the budget process. And so this is a matter of simply setting up the project ordinance for the finance department. Council, you may have some questions about the budget ordinance itself or about the truck itself. Of course, Chief Kendall is here to answer any questions you may have about the truck. But the budget ordinance is for $2.5 million, and that would be financed through commercial lending. But that is the recommendation, Mayor.
Council, we had some initial discussions about applying for another AFG grant. That does not seem to be, it's going to be feasible for us. It will not even come available till late November, and it'll be probably in late spring or summer before we would find out anything. Our odds of getting it were not great. We did not get it last time. So if council is agreeable, we would go ahead and do this project budget ordinance, and the
So this
apparatus
was,
staff would continue building the specs for it to bring us back something we go to bid later.
so this was in last year's budget.
We have it in the budget, yes, it was in the budget.
This
Last
year's
year.
budget.
So we're simply carrying that money forward to this year.
No, it's in this year's budget, but we did not appropriate it. Mr. Clark told you what it was, because it's been borrowed, you gotta set up a project budget. We don't usually set up project budgets in our regular budget process, you do them separate.
We got a long lead time on that fire truck.
Very long
lead Yes.
I
time.
think it was,
It actually is better than what I've heard now. You passed it with almost 3 years. Now I think we're less than 2,
less than 2, good.
but it's gonna take so long to get it. We need to get
But
started.
where does this money come from?
It will be a loan. Council approved that we would do a loan in the budget.
And so that would have to go through the local government commission for
Yes.
review and approval process, and it would come back to the city council for approval.
So this
Jacob.
is, right,
I'm sorry.
no, that's
Mark.
okay.
No, just to clarify, the last one we did the loan terms for 59 months, and for the LGC's approval, it has to be 60 or greater. But if council wants to direct us to do a loan term of greater than that, that's when we would take to the LGC. So
Okay,
if you have
thank you.
any thoughts on that, please let me know soon before we get to the financing arrangement.
I
but
think it'll end up being final price to help determine that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Move of approval of ordinance 2530, which is actually just establishing the budget. The money's already been the money has already been appropriated.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Hall, second by Councilmember Townsend. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Next is 9C, amending the annual operating budget for a fire station roof repair, police cruisers, and Phase 2 of the City Hall HVAC replacement. Council, on your desk, you have this. And I would encourage you to read that because Mr. Clark and I have had several discussions about this proposal because there are some concerns. And if council is agreeable to approve this, I encourage you to approve it contingent on the final wording approved by our city attorney. And the part I'm in talking about, if you look down toward 2/3 of the way down where it says note, and the very last part of that sentence says, and all interior protection during the re-roof process. Basically, that statement is saying that's on us. We went through this with the Waddell Center with all the damage we had. So we have to protect ourselves with this contract before we agree to it, and we would prefer that our attorney work on the final language. But I would ask you to go ahead and approve this tonight if you're so inclined, and let the city attorney work on the final language.
So just reflecting back on the budget process, and I'm looking at the items that we have in this ordinance, did we not need to include that that fire station renovation that we was talking about for Fire Station 1?
Can you respond to that question about fire station renovations?
That'd be Fire Station 3.
Fire
Okay,
Station
that's
3.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
We put that in the budget, did we not?
Jake?
Somebody ought to be able to tell us that.
We've looked at it. The budget Kenny has is the 165, and the details just say fire station renovation. So there may have been some confusion on a station 1, 2, or 3, but that's the total budget he has for capital right now this year is the 165, which we're asking an amendment for an additional 22.
And that's for all 3 stations. That
Yeah.
165 is current for all 3 stations?
No, that's just for Station 1 and 2.
Okay, so this is for Station 3.
No,
No?
You have
It-
nothing
it's-
in the budget for Station 3,
no, sir.
so odds are it will not happen this year.
So was that not part of the budget discussion?
The 165 was the roof for Station 1. But it took so long to get the quotes, it took so long to get moving on the project, the cost went up. And then we developed a problem at Station 2 on the roof. So this project that we've got right here is only for the roof at Station 1 and Station 2. The Station 3 project was, it was in the budget. It didn't get, I don't guess it got funded. But it was in there along with this 165, but it's not there now. So like
Jacob said, it could have got overlooked.
It was cut in the final approval, so we got these two to do, and then we'll have to look at that other one later.
Right.
Council, have any further questions?
So I just have a comment. It's not that I don't think we need to do this. I'm just looking at today is August the 18th, and we approved the budget on June 3rd, June 5th, June something. And we're all, and this is not anything derogatory about current staff. I'm just making a statement that we sure are early in a budget year to have to go and start taking money out of fund balance at this stage of the game. And I'm looking at where you're wanting to transfer things from. I mean, I know that we've got some HVAC system issues here. We talked about police vehicles during the budget as well. I guess I want to make sure that I'm clear and that kind of thing on what's before us, because it bothers me about starting off a year. And nothing derogatory, I'm just making a statement.
Yeah,
So,
if I can clarify, so the amendment for the HVACs is the phase 2. If you'll recall, it was brought to you and said we do it in 3 phases. This year, so far, when you started 25, 26, you had the budget for phase 3. But what happened is for the phase 2, it was contracted for, and it's just an accounting thing. Service wasn't rendered by June 30th. You had it budgeted last year. That contract has now rolled over into 25, 26. So we just need to reappropriate those funds that were already appropriated. And
Not
then,
extra funds, it's just had to move it from 1 year to
yeah,
the other.
exactly. Yep. And then for the police vehicles, we're using fund balance, but there were about 90,000, or I believe, that were insurance proceeds received. We don't normally budget insurance proceeds. So when those come in, they came in last fiscal year. And so we're essentially appropriating fund balance for the reserves that are getting in there at June 30th. And the other amount is just using the restricted drug tax funds that can only be used for police.
with that explanation,
Yeah.
okay? I think for people that listen or watch, they think, oh no, they're already doing these fun, okay? And on the forefront, that's what it looks like. I think this is the kind of clarification that needs to be there, okay? Particularly when you're moving from one year to another year, okay? That's one thing. And good explanation.
Well, I guess my concern is from the budget, when we had those budget meetings and stuff, we was talking about, and I remember this conversation, we was talking about the 10 firefighters, and I'm looking at the budget highlights. We was talking about bringing on those 10 firefighters from the SAFER grant.
Right.
And something about renovating so that we'll have bedrooms and things of that nature. And now we're saying, even though we got it featured on the budget highlights, that we can't move forward with the renovation. You know, something don't add up.
That's right. It did not make it in the final budget.
But it made it in the highlights.
It
Is
did.
that what you're saying,
Yeah.
Dexter?
All right.
All right. Do I have a motion?
Move to approve ordinance 2528, and then upon review by the city attorney.
Okay. I
Second.
have a motion by Councilmember Dry, second by Councilmember Aldridge. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
No.
Motion carries. If I had 2 against. Move on to 9D. Ordinance 2531, Electrical Central Station Substation Project. Council will recall we did plan to expand our central delivery point over behind the garage. And this money is available for that, has been reserved. We just need to set a project budget.
Move approval.
Motion by Councilmember Hall,
Second.
second by Councilmember Hunt. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Clark?
Thank you, Mayor. When I was making my remarks earlier, I did call out several departments. I also want to take just a moment to say thank you to several other departments that I may not have specifically recognized. Public safety, fire, police, we thank you for everything that you do as well. You put your lives on the line every day, so I do want to make sure that I recognize you as well. Public Works provide a myriad of services, and they do a very, very good job day in, day out, every week. And I won't start naming services, but Ross, your crews do an excellent job. All the way to Parks and Recreation, who provide services that enhance the livability of this community, and also Lindsay and your group with downtown and economic development and creating jobs and opportunities for our citizens. So I do want to recognize your departments as well. That's the problem when you start recognizing individual departments, you're going to leave somebody out. So hopefully I did not do that this time. I see David Fath, and David, you do an awesome job with public information and promoting the city as well. With that, Mayor, the only other thing I want to do is recognize Darren Rhodes for a special announcement.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and Council. I'm excited to announce that I've selected Zach Ollis to be our next Assistant City Manager. Zach brings a wealth of local government experience, which ultimately will serve the city as we continue to move forward in a positive direction, continue to raise the standards in service delivery. Zach was chosen following a nationwide search and a competitive process that included more than 100 applicants. He brings to Albemarle more than a decade of local government experience in management of North Carolina communities. We're very fortunate to have someone of Zach's caliber join our team, which really speaks to the leadership of our elected officials and the positive results that our city employees have accomplished in making our city an attractive place. Zach's first day is tentatively scheduled for September 15th.
What's the last name again?
Ollis, O-L-L-I-S.
And Darren, we have a press release prepared, ready to go out. I believe that's already been forwarded to City Council.
That's correct.
So you have that electronically, Mayor.
Thank you. We look forward to him getting here.
Thanks,
Thank
Darren.
you very
Thank you.
much. And thank y'all for all the hard work. I know that's been a lengthy process with the large number of applications that came in.
Mayor, that concludes the report. Happy to answer any questions council may have.
Council, have any questions for the manager? Council, I'll remind you that the COG meeting is next Tuesday night, 6:30 in Meisenheimer. It's at the Stokes Center. I have myself, Ms. Hall, Bramlett, Aldridge, Dry, and Rhodes signed up. Anyone else wish to go? I'm going to pass out some information for tomorrow night and ask you to
When I opened it and I realized it was 130 some pages,
Yeah.
I said, yeah, don't think I'm gonna hit print.
That's what I said.
This gonna take 15 minutes or more.
That's all.
bring this with you tomorrow night. I give it to you, and I give you a little extra information, and the reason being, over the last few years, every time we've had a rezoning, there's been a question about what's allowed in that district. So now you have a copy of what's allowed in all of the zoning districts. Also, toward the back of this, you will see some highlights on several other ordinances, and those are ordinances that have been a topic of discussion from time to time among council. So I encourage you to look over that. We will not do an in-depth study on this tomorrow night. Tomorrow night is basically for us to hear the land use plan from COG, but I do want you to have this, and there'll be a little bit of discussion because some of this relates to what's going to be in the land use plan. Anybody else have anything come before council?
Mayor, I'd like to mention one thing. Recently, I've been to 2 meetings having to do with the schools in Stanley County. The most recent one was at the Waddell Center. There is a great deal of concern about our schools throughout the county, and I think that what I want to do is encourage people in the city to become involved in that, because we have a great deal to gain or lose in that process. We have a huge industrial park out there with many millions of dollars that we put into it. And I truly think we're going to have a hard time getting much of anything in there with the kind of schools that the people are going to be using if they move here from somewhere else. And I've heard that from sources outside the city and county also. So we need to be very sensitive to what's going on with our schools. And there probably will be some merging and that sort of thing that you may not like. And if you don't like it, you need to be at these meetings to let the people know what you think about it. But it is important to the people of Albemarle what's going on with our schools. Let's be mindful of it.
Thank you. Anyone else have anything to come before council? I'll entertain a motion that we adjourn until tomorrow night at 5 p.m. in the Ray Allen Room for a special meeting with the Central Atlanta Council of Governments.
So
So-
moved.
Motion by Councilmember Dry. Second by Councilmember Hunt. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries.
Meeting adjourned?
Meeting adjourned.